of our experience of measuring and monitoring extreme poverty, social advances, and programs achievements, and naturally their problems, in Brazil Without Extreme Poverty plan. As you know, and as we, well, I should say that I work at the Ministry of Social Development, and this ministry has 5 national secretariats, and one of these 5 secretariats deals with evaluation and monitoring objectives. This is SAGI, this is, we describe this, and I have some folders in other languages to explain this, but we have all this in our site. Well, every year we compile 35 to 40 indicators that and put them together in a publication that we call Brazilian Development Indicators, just to make a comparison to the Human Development Indicator. We present 35 indicators just to show all the effects of our social policy, since we've been investing more money, more public resource on social policy in a perspective of a broader social rights conception since our constitution that we set in 1988. And in the last 12 years especially, we have been going through a very huge transformation, especially in areas of traditional where we had more poverty. And if you see all these indicators, the monetary extreme poverty, if you see the income, if you see life expectancy, if you see the school attendance rates, unemployment rates, well, if you see any other indicators, you can see all this progress going and being shown, and also some of the challenges we still have to overcome, well, the inequality and some of other social problems. But we, in spite of, we think it's very important to have specific indicators to show all the specific progress that we have, because we have to, as a social decision makers, we have to have a very specific measures to identify the problems that we have in a social, in a complex society. But we realize that we need some kind of aggregate indicator or index to show all the effects of the social policy, of these universal programs, with also some specific programs that we have and we run with some communities to rural areas and even for the poorest people. So we launched in 4 years ago the Brazil Without Poverty plan, which combines, as I said, educational and health universal programs with specific and target programs. And it's based on a concept, on a multidimensional concept, specifically the poverty concept brings 3 dimensions. The extremity poverty might be, well, the people that have insufficient or lack of monetary resource, but extremity poverty also may be lack or limited access to public service in education, health, and social assistance. And also, extremity poverty is the lack of access to opportunity to the labor market and to the, well, productive or productive inclusion. This is a very important perspective on a multidimensional concept that organizes all the actions that we have in Brazil in the Plano Brasil Sem Miséria. We have actions, we have programs in those three areas that are run by our ministry and by the other ministries in social aspects. And it's very important to us that besides producing those indicators, and that you can see in a broader perspective in our site, we are very concerned to spread the effective use of these indicators, or some kind of indicators, through our managers, through the people that run our programs all over Brazil, in the 27 states and the 5,000 municipalities that we have. It's very important to bring this information for the ones that can make the difference at the local level. So we combine and we develop a site, the Brasil Sem Miséria site, that we have reports, social reports for all the municipalities. And these reports also, we have also monitoring panels, we have analytical information also, and of course we have reports, social and simple social reports with 3 or 4 pages that anyone, even a citizen, can read and some kind understand. But we also bring the information that is collected by our statistical agency to produce poverty or any social indicator map, as you are seeing that. Well, what we have learned in these 10 years, well, our ministry has 10 years. It's been commemorated in last May. And in our case, we produced a bulletin with the experience that we have learned. We have more than 15 lessons learned, and some of them we put it together in this slide. But if you want to have some of these papers, but it's in Portuguese. Well, first of all, we are convinced, well, as you are, that we do not exhaustive set of indicators to evaluate social progress and program performance and challenges. We don't need exhaustive, we need the relevant set of indicators on the state of the process, on the state of the output, and even the impact or outcome dimensions. We have to articulate monitoring indicators that must be specific to actions in geographical areas and must be updated frequently, presented in a friendly platform. It's very important, the strategy to communicate, as I'll say in a few minutes. Not a few minutes, but seconds. Evaluating indicators such as NEPI should be sensitive to all strategic components of social policy. It's very important that the measure can incorporate some dimensions, as Sabina showed. The national NEPIs incorporate some specific dimensions that might be very important to the government to put on that. Because if you want a measure that can summarize all the efforts that we have, it must have some kind of indicators that captures those questions. We should be concerned that the production of indicators involve the improving of statistical system. It's very important to have statistical agency on this effort, because they can produce and they can improve the information that we have. We should be concerned with the dissemination strategy. You should develop specific products, dissemination products for specific audiences, even to the minister, to the state officials, or even at the level of the program operators. And finally, it's very important that, by the using of this evidence, those empirical evidence, we are we are achieving a very important goal that people in society, even outside government, can understand that there are many social, concerned, dedicated, and clever people in government agencies. Thank you for the opportunity.